Let's talk to Eliot Shorr-Parks about all these things right now on the Midday Show. Eliot, how we doing?
ESP.
Man, Kyle with a throwback
Yep.
banger, Hugh admitting it was a banger. Everything is good right now, I guess, besides anything in sports. But outside of that, life is good.
Yes. Well, hopefully the sport starts to change here and shift. Eliot,
Yeah.
let's talk about. We'll get your thoughts on the Phillies and how this thing goes in a few minutes. But let's start with the Eagles because they have really. It's amazing. After their first real loss in over a year, they've flown completely under the radar this week.
Flying under the radar.
Because of the Phillies. Obviously, Monday, a lot of reaction to the AJ stuff in the game. But really, they've flown under the radar. What did you make, and what did you make of their reaction yesterday when asked about what we heard about Monday night, which was the meeting between Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and the fallout? What was your takeaway yesterday being down there?
Yeah, so I definitely think they're trying to downplay the significance of that meeting. Jalen, said it was, I think he said he enjoyed it, if I remember correctly, but he didn't really go into great detail about it. Saquon Barkley admitted it happened, but he was kind of like, I wish it wasn't out there, and essentially said it wasn't that big of a deal. A.J. Brown, on the other hand, didn't talk. He left early, so we didn't hear from him about that meeting. I think it's a positive if they can get Jalen and AJ in the same room talking. Like, that's a step in the right direction. But I'm in a little bit of I'll believe it when I see it mode. I mean, we lived through this last year, obviously with the Brandon Graham comment that kind of revealed that AJ and Jalen maybe weren't, super close. And then they had a great game against the Steelers. They did a celebration dance, and everybody was like, oh, everything's all good. And now here we are again. So I think it's a positive. I respect Saquon for, I would assume, being one of the catalysts of making this meeting happen. But, yeah, I don't know if this is like a turning point.
Eliot, Sunday against the Broncos, it was the first time in a long time that they lost, and certainly lost like that. Was that just a bad afternoon, a bad second half, or has it been a continuation here, and you're concerned at what you see at the way they're playing?
Yeah, I think it finally caught up to them. I don't think this was just a bad afternoon. I think this was the mistakes that they've made have caught up to them. Now, I don't think really it was like the scheme on the offense is broken or the defense isn't that good. I think what caught up to him was just sloppy football, pre-snap penalties, personal fouls after the play, just negating positive plays. So I think that definitely caught up to him. But I also thought Jalen Hurts played maybe his worst game of the season, just in terms of passing the ball, which is crazy because in the first half, they passed it well, right? Like, he passed it really well in the first half. But in that second half, they really, really struggled. And I thought they left a lot of plays out there. So while I do think Jalen did not have a great game, they could have also easily had 400-plus yards had they connected on a few things or there weren't pre-snap penalties. So, an interesting game in that regard. But I definitely think their mistakes from all season kind of caught up to them and finally got them.
You know what? There's been a lot of talk, especially from the Broncos, that they've kind of found the formula to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you feel that way, Ellie? Do you think that they unmasked the formula from this weekend to beat the Philadelphia Eagles?
I don't think so. I mean, we've heard other teams say that. The 49ers said it a few years ago. And I think, the Chiefs didn't say it, but the Chiefs in the Super Bowl came out and basically acted on the plan that everyone always says. Like, the plan to beat the Eagles, when people say it, is always put the ball in Jalen's hand. Like, that's always what the plan is. It's never you got to get the ball in Saquon's hands, right? So we've seen teams try to beat the Eagles that way. They're very, very, very rarely successful doing it. I mean, this team almost never loses. So I don't think the Broncos revealed anything. I truly do believe the Eagles' wounds are self-inflicted right now. And I know that could sound like coach speak or, but it's just the truth. Like, when I watch it, I don't see them being out-talented on the field. I see them being sloppy and having poor details. So I don't think it was a blueprint. I think it was the Eagles shooting themselves in the foot.
Eliot, what's the situation on the injury report where we're heading towards tomorrow night? I mean, this is a different kind of week. They play on a Thursday. We know they're pretty banged up. Saquon did not practice, or the estimation wasn't going to practice Monday, limited yesterday. Dickerson, that seems like he's going to be out this week. Give us your latest, your thoughts on where they're at injury-wise.
Yeah, so I think there's probably three significant names to discuss, and you touched on some of them there, obviously. Saquon Barkley will be good to go. Talked to him at his locker yesterday. I get the sense this was probably much more of just, take a hypothetical day off. Like, they didn't even really practice. They did walkthroughs. So speaking to him yesterday, he seemed perfectly fine. So I don't have any concern about Saquon in terms of, him not playing in the game. So he'll be out there. Landon Dickerson, I don't think will play tomorrow night, and I wouldn't shock me to see him miss that Minnesota game in a few weeks. And then at that point, you wonder if you'd rather just let him miss that Giants game and give him a full month off. I just think from watching him, he needs some time. Like, just physically, you respect the fact he wants to go out there and play. He's always played through injuries in the NFL and for this team. But he looks like he needs some time off. So I don't think he'll play on Thursday. You do get the mini bye there, so maybe he plays against the Vikings. But I think rest is the best solution for him right now.
All right, Eliot, tomorrow night they play the Giants, which is, and of all the things that have flown under the radar, it's this particular game. I mean, it's like no one's giving it any thought. They're 7.5-point favorites, and they clearly should win the game. Your thoughts on the matchup tomorrow night against a Giants team that we just saw lose to the Saints on Sunday?
Yeah, it's in a weird way a good benchmark game for the Eagles. Not in the way where they're playing a great opponent and you're like, all right, let's see how they match up. It's basically, let's see how bad they can beat the Giants by. Like let's see if they can click on all cylinders and embarrass this Giants team, because the Giants are really bad. Like, I know people are used to hearing that, so it's not exactly like a shocking statement.
Breaking news.
But they're really bad. Like, their head coach is terrible. They have almost no skilled players that people should be worried about. Their defensive line is good, for sure. And that is one thing where, if they were to lose, like, that would be the only way it would happen. But if you go to New York and, God forbid, lose, but if it's like a 16-13 win or something like that, I think that would be concerning. So this is a good, check the health of the team game. I know it's a short week, but they're just way better than this team. And if they go out there tomorrow night and they have the same kind of self-inflicted wounds, I think that would be concerning.
Ellie, I want to play for you and everyone something that was said yesterday. I'm curious, one, when you hear it, your thought on it being said by who it was said by, and then two, is it correct? So Brian Daboll, you mentioned there, the head coach of the New York Giants, He was doing his press conference yesterday up in New York. He was asked about the Eagles, and listen to what he said about the Eagles passing game, A.J. Brown, when he puts on the film.
Yeah, you watch all the games, and you watch him when he's out there get open, big, strong, fast, has good hands, can run any route you want him to run. I'm sure they can throw him the ball as many times as they want. That means Saquon doesn't get it, or give it to Saquon, and AJ doesn't get it. There's one ball. They're all really good players. Smitty, I've been around Smitty. I think he's an exceptional receiver too. So I think I'm sure whatever they want to do or think they need to do, that's what they'll do. You have to watch the tape. AJ's open a lot. But you give it to Saquon, and he's got productive yards. You run his own read or throw it to Smitty, there's another thing. There's a lot of weapons, I would say, on that offense. And whatever they choose to do is what they do.
Eliot, your thoughts on Brian Daboll, especially doubling down at there and saying, you look on the tape, A.J. Brown's open a lot. What did you make of that?
Yeah, so obviously that's the highlight of the quote. I will say quickly, I just picked up on him basically saying they'll do whatever they want. Like, talk about a motivational statement there from your head coach.
Like basically you can't stop it. Whatever they want to do, you're not going to be able to stop it.
They'll do whatever they want. So, but outside of that, yeah, I think he knows what he's doing. It's no secret to anyone in the NFL that the Eagles are having, some kind of issues here with their passing game and AJ being frustrated, and Devontae as well, for what it's worth. But AJ is obviously the headline there. So I think he knows what he's doing. He knows his team isn't as good, and he knows to win. And, it's probably a smart thing to do. The Eagles gotta kind of, blow it themselves. So I think it's a smart comment. And I also think he's right. Like, AJ is open. AJ, I thought, won his matchup against Patrick Surtain this past week. The issue really is, timing, the ball coming out on time, accuracy wasn't great at times. So he's right, but he's also smart to say it.
Yeah, I think it is good gamesmanship to say the guy that's 72nd in the NFL in yards per game is open a lot. It really it throws everything back on the Eagles here before the game tomorrow night. All right, Eliot, where are you at on the Phillies as they are heading to, well, they're in LA, but they're heading towards a Game 3 tonight. Elimination. Eliot, your thoughts, hope, belief, do they extend this series or is this thing over tonight?
So it kind of hit me right before the series started, on Saturday. They just never had a chance to win this series. Let's be real. The Dodgers are better. It is what it is. It's a really tough draw they got. If they played the Reds, maybe things would be differently, right? If they got almost any other team in the NL, I think you could sit there and go, okay, this is this is a series they should win. The Dodgers are better. They were better going into the season. They basically coasted through it, and then they caught the Phillies, or the Phillies caught the Dodgers at the worst possible time. So you combine that with the fact that this team basically never wins in the playoffs anymore. They've, what are they, 1-5 or 6 in their last 7 games. So, like, no, they're not going to win the series. Do they win tonight? I mean, maybe, because, like, fluky things happen. But why would I believe in this team? And why would I believe in Aaron Nola? So, no, I don't think so.
You're not the only one. I mean, we had a poll up to start the show. 3 options: hope they win tonight, believe they win tonight, or let's just end it. Like, kind of put us out of our misery. And last time I checked, that was winning. So you're not the only one that feels that way. Eliot, we appreciate you hopping on, and we will talk to you tomorrow night for the pregame show.
Yep, sounds good. Talk to you guys.
Have a good one, man.
Eliot Shorr-Parks there.